South Africa loses 1.5 trillion in 5 years due to corruption. Now, I want to thank all of you that have been sending in amazing comments and sharing these videos. We've literally gone viral in educating South Africans on why it's important for them to be part and be active citizens in their country and be part of politics. I want to say to each and every one of you, together we're rising. Now, what happens in South Africa when you actually report corruption? Remember when we were younger, in high school or in primary school, and the teacher would leave the classroom and say, may you write down all the names of all the troublemakers or the kids that will be making noise while I'm gone. That person would be a whistleblower. Now the saying goes, snitches get stitches. But in South Africa, snitches get graves. That's the story of Babita, who exposed a 1 billion rand corruption that went on in the Department of Health. And she was gunned down at the entrance of her home.
I thought it was probably just like a robbery or a hijack or something. Just looking at the car itself was too traumatic for me.
Her family is still traumatized till date without answers. We had the Premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Sufi, saying that he believes that she was gunned down for her exposing of the corruption in the Department of Health. We had the Zondo Commission, which was tasked with the task of revealing all this corruption and coming up with solutions. The Zondo Commission said that one of the solutions that would work in South Africa is protecting and rewarding whistleblowers. In the US, in the UK, and in Canada, they pay their whistleblowers a fee on the success of that particular case. The Zondo Commission, after they've written 8 million pages, after over 3,000 summons were sent, over 1,400 people were actually implicated, and R1 billion spent, they came back to say one of the recommendations that South Africa should implement, South Africa should pay their whistleblowers, actually give money to people who risk their lives to let us know that people are stealing from our government. Remember, a whistleblower is somebody who essentially goes against their bosses or their seniors in the department and tells the National Prosecuting Agency that there is corruption in that department that they're working in. They are usually isolated. They are usually ostracized. Some of them are intimidated. Some of their family members are killed. They go through so much and even have to go to court to prove what they're saying. And many times, they end up like Babita, killed, gunned down, because they were trying to protect the state. The Zondo Commission said, let us protect these whistleblowers by actually paying them. And I believe that's the best solution for South Africa. Let there be a culture that if you're caught being corrupt, people will report you and they'll be rewarded for reporting you and making sure that you go to jail for your corrupt actions. Let people that are corrupt begin to live in fear of knowing that anybody who finds out will report them and be rewarded, and they will lose everything that they gain through corruption. Enough is enough. We can't lose 1.5 trillion over 5 years, something that could build industries, take children to school, build hospitals, lost due to corruption. By the way, Babita was simply exposing corruption that could have saved lives, hospitals, that could have been treating patients that need this healthcare. Yet criminals or politicians, as we have it, ANC politicians, just continue to steal from the poorest of the poor. We must protect our whistleblowers. It's important that these people feel protected, and it's important that these people feel safe. We must make sure that anybody who is killed who works for the state is well investigated to see on what projects they were working on, where they had disagreements, and where those things could be reported quickly and efficiently. We must build online platforms that will allow people to report things anonymously just by sending an email or just by going on the portal and actually typing out something and leaving it there anonymously. We must build a blockchain system to deal with corruption where every single corrupt thing can be reported on a blockchain, where it cannot be erased, where it cannot be tampered or changed with, and can be available for all of us to see and investigate. South Africa must get serious with dealing with corruption, and that's what Arise South Africa seeks to do. We seek to make sure that a clear message is sent out there to say corruption will not be tolerated. If you are corrupt, you will be dealt with. In Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, one of the fathers of Singapore, he was very strict on corruption, to the point where a minister took a holiday or went on holiday with somebody who had received a government contract. When the minister landed back in Singapore from holiday, he was arrested just for him going on holiday with somebody who received a tender from government. Lee Kuan Yew said, how do you go on holiday with people that you're actually giving government jobs to? How are you then able to actually make fair decisions if you're going on holiday with people that get contracts from government? He was so strict with corruption that Singapore today still boasts one of the most cleanest or government systems with the least corruption in the world, because a clear message was sent. How can we do that in South Africa if the president is caught with funds in his couch that cannot be explained? South Africa, let us unite and begin to take this seriously. If we don't face corruption head on, we will have no country.
Arise, South Africa, arise.